All right, everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're tackling something pretty big choices, the kind that shape your whole life.
Oh, yeah. Definitely big choices.
And we're getting some guidance, believe it or not, from an ancient text.
You got it. The book of Joshua. But don't worry, we're not going all, preachy or anything.
No fire and brimstone here.
Yeah,
We're after the timeless wisdom stuff, the stuff that still makes sense today.
exactly.
Like, imagine this, you gather a whole nation together and you ask them straight up, who you really gonna follow?
Ooh, yeah.
That's the scene in Joshua chapter 24. Intrigued. Let's dive in.
All right. So what's fascinating is this chapter, it doesn't just tell you to make a choice. It sets the stage beautifully.
Oh, tell me more.
It's Joshua,
Yes.
right, leader of the Israelites, giving his farewell speech. But it's less goodbye and more like, remember where we came from, folks.
I see. Setting the scene.
Exactly. He's reminding them of their history, their journey. Think of it like a pep talk, but on an epic scale. Love it. So it's like, remember those plagues in Egypt? Remember wandering in the desert for 40 years? Yeah, I was there for all that. Now decide what you're going to do.
You got it. He starts way back with their ancestors, those who worshipped other gods. Then he recounts how God chose Abraham, led them out of slavery in Egypt.
40 years in the wilderness. Can't forget those wilderness years.
It's a powerful reminder. Even when they messed up, God was faithful.
So he's like, look, I've always had your back. Now it's decision time.
Right. And then he lays it out, no sugarcoating. Choose this day whom you will serve, the Lord, the old gods your ancestors had.
Ooh, tough choices.
Or even the gods of this new land they're in. Choose, but choose wisely, he's saying.
Man, talk about high stakes. But that gets to the core, doesn't it? Leading a meaningful life can't be wishy-washy.
Exactly. And you know what's awesome? Joshua doesn't just talk the talk. He says, as for me and my house, we're serving the Lord.
Putting his money where his mouth is. Love that.
Leading by example.
And get this. He sets up a stone, a real physical stone, as a reminder. Oh, yeah, that's brilliant.
Like a monument to, we made this promise.
Accountability.
Right. It's like, we do that today, right?
Yeah,
You write down your goals, tell a friend so they'll keep you honest.
totally. Or you have that visual symbol, something that represents what you're aiming for, keeps you on track.
Smart.
Hmm.
But Joshua, he doesn't stop there. There's a warning too, right?
Oh, there definitely is.
Like, hey, if you stray, things might not be so great.
Exactly. Obedience, staying true to your commitment, that's key to things going well.
It makes you think, even today, any kind of success, you need consistency, effort. Slack off, you risk losing it all.
Like in business, relationships, anything really. Stay true to your principles.
It all comes back to that, huh? So
Hmm.
we've got this powerful call to action, a bold declaration, a stone monument. What happens next? How do the people react to all this?
Well, it's pretty amazing, actually. They're like, whoa, no way are we abandoning the Lord to serve other gods. Never.
Wow, so they were all in. Like, the whole nation just instantly agreed.
Well, public declarations, got to take them with a grain of salt sometimes. But they do go on to give reasons, not just a blanket statement.
Oh, so they back it up. What do they say?
They talk about how God delivered them from slavery, those incredible signs and wonders, the protection during their journey.
They'd seen it firsthand.
Right. They're like, look, we've seen what you can do, God. We're not turning away from that.
Makes sense. I mean, who would after all that?
But Joshua, he's smart. He doesn't just take them at their word. Throws in a little reality check.
Okay, what does he say?
He's like, listen, serving the Lord, it's not a walk in the park. He's a holy God, a jealous God. He won't just overlook your mess-ups.
Whoa, okay, straight to the point.
It's like tough love. He's
Mhm.
saying, don't make this promise lightly. This is a serious commitment, big consequences if you break it.
So it's like signing a contract. That moment where the lawyer says, read the fine print. He's making sure they understand what they're getting into.
Exactly. It's not just picking a side. It's knowing what comes with it, embracing the good A&D, the responsibility of aligning yourself with something bigger than yourself.
So how do they take that? Do they back down? I mean, that's a pretty heavy warning.
Nope. They double down, like, no way, we're sticking with the Lord. They get it, it's serious, and they're all in.
Wow, that's commitment. I guess seeing those miracles really solidified their belief.
Seems like it. And then Joshua, he's like, all right, you've made your choice. You heard the terms. You are witnesses to your own decision to serve the Lord.
And they say,
We are witnesses. It's like this powerful exchange of vows, a public declaration.
So they've said it out loud, but how do they make it official? I mean, it's not like they can post it on social media.
Well, Joshua, he writes down their words in the book of the law of God, like a legal document, making it official.
Making it binding.
But wait, there's more. Remember that stone he set up?
Yeah, the visual reminder.
He puts it under a sacred oak tree, says, "This stone, it's a witness. It heard everything the Lord said to us. So if you ever deny your God, the stone will call you out."
Wow. So it's like a physical embodiment of their promise, a constant reminder.
Exactly. Makes you think about how powerful those physical reminders can be, even today.
Oh, totally. Wedding rings, tattoos, even a sticky note with your goals.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that visual cue.
Right. It keeps you grounded. But even with all this, you gotta wonder, did they actually keep their promise? Did they live up to all these big declarations?
That's the question, isn't it? Human nature, staying true to commitments. It's tough.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And that question, it leads to some pretty deep insights.
Okay, now I'm hooked. What happened? Did they stay faithful?
Well, the thing is, they did serve the Lord, but like only for a time.
Oh, so they did follow through, at least at first. That's good. But you said for a time. What happened? Did they just forget their promise?
It seems that way. The book of Joshua, it ends on this hopeful note. They served the Lord all the days of Joshua and those elders who outlived him.
So the ones who really saw the miracles,
Yeah.
they stayed strong. But what about after that? Did their kids and grandkids keep it going?
That's where things get really interesting. You read the rest of the Old Testament and you see this pattern keeps repeating. Faithfulness, then straying, then repentance, back to faithfulness.
Oh, so it was a constant struggle. Kind of like those New Year's resolutions, right? We start strong, but life happens. So how does this apply to us today?
I think the big lesson is, even when we mess up, we can always come back, recommit.
Like hitting the reset button.
And Joshua's a good example, right? He didn't just tell them, he showed them. Made his own commitment clear, used that stone to remind everyone.
So we need to find our own stones. Those things that keep us grounded when we're tempted to stray. Could be a physical thing, a person, even just a memory.
You got it. And those stones, they might change as we grow, But the important thing is having something that reminds us of our values, why we're on this path.
This has been amazing. We started with this ancient story, but it's so relevant, right? Making choices, sticking to them.
It's like that timeless wisdom thing we talked about. Even though times change, we're all still human.
We all face those big choices, right?
Yeah.
And trying to live up to our values, it's a journey. So before we wrap up, one question for our listeners. What are your stones? What helps you stay true to yourself? Think about it, and we'll continue this conversation next time.
Keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.